What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Kakis, and today we are going to be discussing a weapon that you should absolutely not be using this season.
You serious?
Okay, that sounds a little bit weird. You're probably like, why the heck am I watching this video? Then let me explain a little bit better. Right now, the meta is completely dominated by solar and strand weapons, and that's because you get massive bonuses for using those thanks to the seasonal artifact perks. If you're using a solar weapon, you're becoming radiant by getting kills and even just precision hits. You're causing scorch, you're causing ignition explosions. If you're using a strand weapon, you're gaining unraveling rounds, you're causing hatchlings to spawn. Both of those elemental types for weaponry are just insane and what you should be using this season. And the weapon we're talking about in today's video is an arc weapon. However, this does give you an opportunity to invest in some Destiny 2 stonks, okay? My real life investments may not be doing too hot right now, but my Destiny investments are to the moon, guys, because this is not just a random arc weapon, this just might be one of, if not the best arc primary weapons in the entire game for PvE. And so if we do see arc seasonal artifact perks in the final shape or beyond, this is absolutely a weapon you want to have access to, and importantly, you can craft it. And that's because the weapon in question is the Subjunctive Submachine Gun, added to Destiny 2 this season as part of the returning Vex weapon set all the way back from Season of the Undying, Season 8 of the game. This is going to be a lot more difficult to unlock the pattern for than the base Season of the Wish craftable weapons. However, in doing my weekly star-crossed exotic missions to upgrade my Wishkeeper, I found that the hidden secret chests in that mission drop guaranteed Vex weapons. And I think the end chest for completing the mission on Legend difficulty drops guaranteed red border Vex weapons as well. So I was actually able to unlock a ton of pattern progress for this weapon set with that exotic mission and finally unlock the ability to craft my subjunctive. Now, why is this weapon such a big deal? Well, guys, it can get Volt Shot, which is an incredibly good arc perk. Now, I know some people poo-poo on Volt Shot ever since it was nerfed, because when it first came out, it was like dropping a nuclear bomb every time you reloaded, and Bungie just brought it into the sphere of reality. It's still a super good perk because it has unbelievably good synergies when you're using an arc build, because every time you get a kill and reload, it will jolt the next target it hits. And a lot of people just treat this as, okay, you do the chain lightning every single reload, that's it. But jolt goes so much deeper because it is an arc keyword. If we check the wording on a jolted target here, guys, it says the target is energized with destructive arc light. They take additional damage while jolted. That's huge, and again, a lot of people overlook that. And chain lightning to nearby targets. Oh, and jolt damage causes overload champions to be stunned. So even if submachine guns are not a featured anti-champion weapon, you can go in with the subjunctive, kill one red bar, reload, and then shoot an overload champion. You'll jolt that guy and stun that champion. But it goes so much further. There is fragments like Spark of Ions, which says defeating a jolted target creates an Ionic Trace. So using an SMG, now I'm jolting targets, which I want to be doing anyways, causing additional damage, causing the chain lightning. I'm also going to be generating Ionic Traces that are going to give me more ability energy. If I'm using the Elemental Charge Armor mod, I can even get a stack of Armor Charge, which is insane because Ionic Traces track to you. I can go even further. A lot of the gameplay you've been seeing is with me using the Crown of Tempests, which says your arc ability or jolt final blows increase the recharge rate of your arc abilities. So every time I get a jolt kill with my weapon, I'm recharging my abilities and getting a better super. It's insane. Why do people not see this? Okay, definitely a bit of a rant there, but my point is that having access to an elemental keyword is so important. The synergies that you can build into are going to give you significantly more power than just a raw damage increase that does nothing else, right? And so that's why I put a ton of value on Volt Shot even after the nerf. And importantly, you can actually pair with Volt Shot another perk in the first column here, which is going to be Threat Detector, giving you massively improved reload when enemies are nearby. And that nearby zone is very generous. You're going to be triggering this a ton. Now, you may be saying, wait a minute, there's already a submachine gun that has Threat Detector plus Volt Shot. It's the Aikilo submachine gun. This thing is fantastic. Why do I care about the Subjunctive? Well, it's simply because the Subjunctive is the first ever lightweight frame submachine gun that can get Volt Shot. So lightweight frame, 900 rounds per minute, and it's going to give you bonus handling and increase your movement speed when you're using it. This is generally considered to be the best overall archetype for a primary weapon in the entire game. Bungie had to go in and give massive damage buffs to a bunch of other weapons like auto rifles, hand cannons, sidearms, etc., just to catch up to this archetype. Now there's a bit more competition, but again, it's still widely considered that lightweight frames are incredibly desirable for your primary weapon. So again, the fact that this is basically the Aikilos role, the god role that everyone was going after, but now in a lightweight frame, which is, considered by most to be the superior archetype, that is a very big deal. And actually, guys, I would say after using this weapon, this archetype is like perfect for Volt Shot because you're just naturally yeeting out your entire magazine on 2 or 3 enemies and then reloading. Like when you're using lightweight frames, think of something like the Callus Mini Tool, you want to be reloading all the time. You want reload speed increasing perks like Threat Detector, which that weapon has as well as part of its god roll. So with other weapons, you're often awkwardly reloading halfway through the magazine after killing one enemy to trigger Volt Shot as much as possible. But with the Subjunctive, honestly, you can just use it completely like you normally would. You don't have to be reloading halfway through the magazine. You are just going to naturally empty that magazine so fast that you can just reload, and the guy you killed at the beginning of the magazine is still going to help you trigger Volt Shot by the end of the magazine, right? So you just play completely normally, except that now you're jolting so many enemies and you're getting all those incredible arc synergies. However, in terms of the other perks when you're crafting this weapon, intrinsically I would recommend reload speed just to increase that stat even further. Then for the barrel, it's really up to you. You can go with the maximum amount of range, you can go with stability, you can go with recoil control. It's personal preference. Now, after that, I would go with Flared Magwell just again to boost that reload stat as much as possible. But when it comes to the enhanced perks, Enhanced Volt Shot just extends the time at which you can shoot an enemy and cause that jolt. I've really never found that to be that useful. But Enhanced Threat Detector is actually just going to improve the bonuses to your reload, your stability, and handling when you're in close proximity. So you can absolutely get away with just enhancing Threat Detector and leaving Volt Shot to save some resources and still have an incredibly good gun. And so guys, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.